Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and we have some breaking news from eBay today. Let me just pause that and give me some more bandwidth. Yeah, I do know that I said today we would be talking about the USA autumn or fall release. That's going to come tomorrow, because what we have seen go live, well, the email that got sent around last night, but also like the policy that went live today, from what we gather in the US, UK, and has also been translated to all the other eBay platforms. This means, this policy basically states that if eBay suspect that you have transacted off of eBay, they can still charge you final value fees. This is pretty big news. I've never heard of this be brought in before. I've not heard of any other marketplace doing something along these lines. And we mentioned this back, when was it? In August, that eBay was stopping, they're updating the links policy and they were updating the contact details policy. And at the time I said, I believe this is a move that eBay are trying to bring in to stop the leak, so to speak, the leak of people finding products on eBay and then contacting the seller either through an email, a phone number, or whatever, and then taking the transaction off of eBay. Therefore, either being able to avoid eBay fees or take that transaction somewhere else, whether it be a website and blah, 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 retain that customer information. So this is a big change. And like I said, it's important, because if you are found breaking this rule, obviously there are now financial implications, and you do run the risk of eBay removing your listing from search or potentially suspending your account. So all the links which outline this exactly as it is are down in the comment, down in the description below. So underneath this video, click the little show more button and it will expand out, and you'll see there's a link to the UK policy, the US policy. It's basically word for word, and also a link to eSeller Cafe, where Richard, who you should know from this channel, and again, co-founder over at eSeller Cafe, has wrote up an article on this exact topic. Now, first thing that I want to make clear is this has not been mentioned in the UK autumn release or the US fall release, which came out yesterday. This was sent round as an email late last night. If you're in New York, that was when Richard first spotted this. I believe a few of the UK sellers will have got their emails today, and the pages have been uploaded onto the eBay website. So let's take a look at what it actually says. So again, I'm looking at the screen now. Policy overview. We do not allow our members to use eBay to contact each other to make offers to buy or sell items outside of eBay. Members can't use information obtained from eBay or any eBay system to contact each other about buying or selling outside of eBay. This is the interesting bit. Sellers are liable for fees arising out of all sales made using some or all eBay services, even if sale terms are finalized or payment is made outside of eBay. Okay, so what eBay is saying right there is that interesting piece of all eBay services. So that is regardless if you are using the transaction method of the site, if you're using eBay messages, if you are using the eBay listing to gather information, eBay feel that they deserve their fees. Sellers are also liable for final value fees if they offer or reference their contact information or ask for a buyer's contact information in the context of buying or selling outside of eBay, even if the item does not sell. So if you ask, again, this is interesting now, because even if you ask for a seller's email address and a sale doesn't go through on the site, eBay, that might look suspicious to them, and can now charge you a final value fee. They literally want you to go through the entire eBay ecosystem, whether that be, has to be messages, and they now have been working on AI, artificial intelligence within the messaging system to basically learn if sellers and buyers are using sort of code words or cryptic messages in order to organize a transaction off eBay. eBay's messages is clamping down massively on this. They now have much more sort of keywords that they're looking for in order to try and stop this from happening. This is kind of big news. They then say, if you receive an offer to buy or sell outside of eBay, report it. Now, that is key. That is now the only way where you as a seller can guarantee that you are not going to get in trouble off eBay. They go on to say, make sure you follow these guidelines. If you don't, you may be subject to a range of actions, including limits of your buying and selling privileges, restrictions on listings and account features, suspension of your account, application of fees, and recovery of our expenses in policy monitoring and enforcement. So they're not only saying we might come after you for final value fees, we might also then put an admin charge on top of that for having to come and do this. They are coming after this hard. Like I said, I've never seen this before from any other marketplace. And it's weird because they've done this in quite a sneaky way. And I hate to say this because I've always said eBay is so good with communications. They are very, very good. We saw this yesterday in yesterday's video where we spoke about how eBay had given you 6 months to remove watermarks. You know, they give you a lot of time. They give you warning up front. And yes, whilst they have given us warning up front about links and contact, changes, policy changes, this one, they didn't obviously put in the update that went out yesterday. They snuck it out in an email to sellers because they didn't obviously want to make a big song and dance about it. So again, they've also provided some guidelines. Now there's 4 points which sellers are allowed to do regarding this new change. So sellers can end a listing early in order to sell an item at the current bid price to the high bidder. So again, that's saying you're accepting the highest bidder's price. You're going to end the auction. Why you would do that, I'm not entirely sure. Let it roll. You might get more money. Bidders can ask sellers to end a listing early and sell at the current bid price, but sellers do not have to honor the request, obviously. Sellers can use eBay's private offer feature to send a customized offer within the My Messages system to a specific buyer for an active fixed price listing. And when selling an item with a fixed price, you can choose the best offer option when you list your item, which gives buyers a chance to negotiate the price with you. Those are the only way now that they're basically the ways that you are allowed to negotiate or communicate with a buyer regarding the selling of your item. Everything else is not allowed. And like I said, especially the point about transacting off eBay. And even like I said, they've done this in such a way where even if someone asks, can we sell, can we do this off eBay? And even if you don't reply, and that sale never goes through, to eBay, it looks like it might have done. Because they've almost been the referral. That customer has found you from eBay, and even if they send a message saying, can we transact off eBay? You ignore it, or you say no, unless you report the buyer. Unless you report the buyer, you could get charged final value fees and then other fees on top of that for breaking the policy. It is a big deal, and like I said, I really want to ram this point home. This looks like it's affecting eBay globally. I'm sure it will do. This isn't just going to be something for .com and .co.uk. This is going to be a global policy change. When does this come into effect? Well, the eBay user agreement will take place from yesterday, the 19th of September, for new users, and on November the 1st for all other users. So if you were starting up a new account today, this would now be in place. If you already have a store and been selling for a while, November the 1st. It's one of those. You really need to, again, if you're a one-man band, you need to be aware of this. If you have customer service staff, whether outsourced or locally, you need to make them aware of this change. If you've got someone who deals purely with eBay messages, as soon as anybody asks to transact off eBay, can they come and pick it up and buy cash? Can they do anything like that? You really need to click that report buyer button, because otherwise you're leaving yourself open to potentially, more for final value fees, which you may not have even been liable for. You may never have sold a product, but if eBay suspect that you have, you could be liable. So this is, like I said, this is sort of big news coming out of eBay. I wanted to get this out today to try and help as many people as possible aware of this if you haven't been made aware already. And for anyone watching this post November the 1st, this is it. This is it now. You cannot get away with this. If you have been stung by this, this is why. This is the policy. So yeah. To give you a heads up, like I said, tomorrow we will talk about the eBay USA fall release. From what I gather, it's very similar to the UK release. And Friday, we're actually going to talk about how you can submit Lightning deals, Black Friday deals, Cyber Monday deals to Amazon. You have about 3 weeks. We're going to talk about that, the process that you have to go through, the criteria that you have to meet. That will be Friday's video. So yeah, lots of good stuff planned this week. Like I said, I'll catch you tomorrow to talk about the US fall release from eBay. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know down below. It surely is going to be a contentious one for sellers and buyers alike. A quick mention on the legality of it. From what I'm not a lawyer, but from what I gather, it's 100% legal what they are doing. You agree to abide by eBay's terms and conditions and policies, selling policies, when you sign up to the platform. You agree that they can change their policies and update them at any time. This is just one of those policies that you have agreed to and the terms under selling on eBay. And if you break it, you are liable for the fees incurred. So from a legal standpoint, I don't think there's any way around this either. Let me know your thoughts. It's an interesting one. I've never seen this before in e-commerce. Could it become the next thing? Who knows? So with that said, I hope you found this video useful. If you have, like I said, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new content every single weekday. And I'll catch you, as always, in tomorrow's video. See you then.